Hey, what's up guys? So I've got a Amazfit Bip Max here and it costs $20 more than the Bip 6. And for that extra price, you get some fantastic upgrades. And in this video, I'm going to talk you through every single difference between these two watches across hardware, display, software, battery, and health and fitness features. So you can decide for yourself whether that $20 is worth it. And spoiler alert, I think it absolutely is. Let's start with the hardware. Physically, the Bip Max is a larger watch in all dimensions. It's thicker, it's wider, and it weighs around 52.6 grams, whereas the Bip 6 comes in at around 27.9 grams. So the Bip Max is almost double the weight of Bip 6. If you prefer larger watches, like I do, you'll appreciate the presence of Bip Max on your wrist. Both watches support a 22mm band, which means if you already have 22mm bands lying around, you can use them with both of these watches. Both the watches come with two buttons. On the Bip Max, you will see red accents on one of the buttons, which gives it a sporty look. Both watches are made of aluminum alloy case, but personally I prefer how the Bip Max looks and feels. It's larger, the sides are flat, and that gives it a clean, modern look. I have Bip Max in silver color here, and it creates this gorgeous contrast against the black borders around the front display. And that silver and black combination is striking. The Bip 6, even though also has an aluminum alloy case, looks a little more subtle by comparison, almost like it's made of plastic. The Bip Max, on the other hand, has more premium quality to it. Even though it's a budget smartwatch, it doesn't feel like one. So in terms of look and feel, I'm definitely more inclined towards the Bip Max. One more thing on the hardware front, both the watches feature a speaker and a microphone, so you can take calls and listen to music on either one. If you like the massive 1.97-inch display on Bip 6, you're going to love the 2.07-inch display on Bip Max. Both are AMOLED, so you get crisp colors on both. But that larger screen on Bip Max means all the elements are bigger and information is even easier to read. Watch faces look absolutely amazing on it too. Now it's not just the display that's bigger, the resolution is also higher on Bip Max. It comes in at 432 by 514 compared to 390 by 450 on the Bip 6. Now where it gets interesting is brightness. The Bip Max goes all the way up to 3000 nits maximum, while the Bip 6 maxes out at 2000 nits. Now that's not to say that 2000 nits is dim, but that extra brightness makes the Bip Max easier to view in direct sunlight and bright lighting. And 3000 nits is something we usually see on high-end premium watches like Amazfit T-Rex 3 Pro. So it's impressive to see that here. On the Bip 6, information is clear and you can read it from a distance as well. But on Bip Max, with the larger screen and higher brightness, everything is just that much easier to read. Both the displays are covered by tempered glass with an anti-fingerprint coating. Neither has sapphire glass protection, so the display is vulnerable to scratches on both the watches. Now let's talk about the software, and this is another area where the Bip Max takes a clear lead. As of now, both the watches are running on ZepOS 5, but the software on Bip Max is lined up to receive ZepOS 6 as well, which Amazfit launched with their new balanced smartwatches. The Bip 6, however, is not on that list yet. And even though both are running ZepOS 5, the experience on Bip Max is noticeably more polished. You can see the difference right away in the quick settings panel. The buttons are clearer and look more modern. They've also changed up the notification panel, so now it's combined with the quick controls, just like on your phone, which means that you have quick controls and notifications in one panel, which is a clean setup. They've also removed the widgets on the Bip Max, so now you just have your shortcut cards that you can access by swiping up from the display. They've also removed the grid view of the apps, so the only view you get is the list view, and the whole navigation works something like this. Swipe down for your quick controls and notifications, swipe up for your info cards or shortcut cards, swipe to the right to get to your activities, and swipe to the left to get to your apps. The whole watch feels more snappy. It's faster, the animations are quicker, and it's more responsive. You can switch between apps without any lag or stutter. Switching between watch faces is a breeze as well. Overall, the software feels much more fluid and put together compared to the Bip 6. Now, Amazfit hasn't mentioned it anywhere, but I do feel that the Bip Max has a better processor inside compared to the Bip 6, which would explain why it's faster and more responsive. Each app has been improved in one way or another, whether it's the interface or the features. For example, if you go into the heart rate app, you will see these heart rate zones with large clear fonts and well-listed zones. The settings are also well organized, so each app feels more refined. Both the watches come with ZepFlow AI Assistant. You can download music, maps on both, and you can make and receive phone calls on both. They both also support GPX files, so you can download offline maps and use navigation during your workouts, which is quite helpful. With Bip Max, Amazfit has fixed one of the biggest flaws of Bip 6. And that's the internal storage. The Bip 6 comes with 512 MB of storage, where around 250 to 300 MB is taken up by the system, so you're left with around 200 MB to work with. And that storage is divided between watch faces, maps, apps, and any music you download. Quite a few times I had to delete stuff to even download a new software update on the Bip 6. On the Bip Max, that won't be an issue because it has 4 GB of internal storage, so you can download plenty of watch faces, apps, maps, and even music. I have quite a few watch faces, maps downloaded on this, and I still have space left for songs and more apps. That's the big difference that makes the Bip Max much more future-proof. On the Bip 6, you will always have to delete something to make room, but on Bip Max, you will rarely run into that problem. So if you're planning to use the watch for at least 2 years, that's something to take into account. Now, all of these features and that brighter display are going to have an impact on battery life. The Bip 6 houses a 340 mAh battery, while the Bip Max packs a massive 550 mAh battery. In real-world testing conditions, with the always-on display enabled, automatic brightness active, and daily workout tracking, with continuous background health tracking turned on, the Bip 6 consistently delivered 6 to 7 days of use on a single charge. Surprisingly, under the exact same testing settings, the Bip Max lasted around 5 days. So why the discrepancy? There are a few logical reasons why the larger battery drains slightly quicker. So when you set it to auto brightness, the Bip Max frequently scales up to its power-hungry 3000 nit maximum. On the Bip 6, the highest tracking frequency you can set for your heart rate monitoring is 1-minute intervals. However, on Bip Max, you can actually set true continuous heart rate monitoring, which means that it is active all the time and thus uses more battery. Even though a 5-day cycle falls slightly short of the Bip 6's lifespan, it is still a highly competitive battery return given the massive screen and relentless background tracking. However, personally, I feel that it should at least be around 10 days. So I hope that future software updates will fix this issue. When it comes to the sensors, Amazfit Bip Max has also received the newer BioTracker 6 PPG sensor, which allows for better optimization of continuous real-time biometric tracking as compared to the BioTracker 5 PPG sensor on Amazfit Bip 6. They both have an accelerometer, gyroscope, and ambient light sensor, and they both support 5 satellite positioning systems for GPS tracking. In terms of sports modes, the Bip 6 can track 140 plus sports modes, while the Bip Max can track 150 plus. Both also feature automatic workout detection of up to 25 activities. So when it comes to health tracking and activity tracking, they go head to head. Both support almost all the similar types of features: similar health tracking, similar automatic workout detection, and similar lifestyle features. You're not missing much on the Bip 6 compared to the Bip Max in this area, because activity and health tracking is neck and neck. The one notable difference is the heart rate monitoring I mentioned earlier. The Bip Max supports true continuous monitoring, always tracking, while the Bip 6 maxes out at 1-minute intervals. So if continuous heart rate data is important to you, that's where the Bip Max has the edge. So that's the full comparison between the Amazfit Bip Max and the Amazfit Bip 6. The Bip Max takes everything that was great about Bip 6 and improves on it. A bigger and brighter display, more polished software, 4 GB of storage, true continuous heart rate monitoring, and more premium look and feel. It genuinely deserves the Max name compared to the Bip 6. For just $20 more, you're getting a lot. The software is snappier and more responsive, it's lined up for ZapOS 6, and you'll probably not run into storage issues. Not anytime soon at least. Combined with that upcoming update, I think the Bip Max is a no-brainer if you're looking for a budget smartwatch right now. That's about it from this video, guys. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, or you can catch me up on Threads. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.